So Charlie, have you always gone by that?
No, I went by Charlotte back then, but over the years I've changed it.
And where are you from?
I lived in Manhattan, New York.
So, how was the 20s for you, with, women's rights and all?
Interesting. I mean, my teenager years consisted of marching with my mom for our rights. If we weren't doing that, my mom ran speakeasies, so I was sewing the flapper dresses and the costumes, as well as waitressing, and I was actually a flapper in a jazz club.
What is something that you did in the 20s that would be considered extraordinary of the time?
See, the 20s was considered as a time as when people did extraordinary things.
What extraordinary things did you do in the 20s?
Well, in the beginning of the 20s, I actually came out as bisexual to my parents, and it was quite interesting because it wasn't a thing that happened very often.
So it was like, was it weird?
It was weird because no one else really seemed to do it, or at least come out about it.
Like, because girls were always expected to like guys, so was it kind of like a new experience to be like, hey, I like girls too?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. My parents definitely tried to make me see the other side of things and have me like boys instead.
So is there anything else interesting that you did in the 20s that, was kind of frowned upon for women?
Well, I experimented with smoking with my friends a lot when we were at jazz clubs, where I worked as a flapper. So there was definitely those kinds of things, and it was interesting.
There were a lot of new jazz clubs going on. Did you ever go to one of those with your friends?
I did actually. A couple of my friends and I were actually flappers, so we'd go there and work, and we'd sometimes just go to drink and stuff.
Voting was also new. In 1920, women were legally allowed to vote. Did you do that?
In 1924, when I turned 18, I actually voted for the first time.
And what was that like?
It was interesting. I was finally able to do something that I wanted and speak about something I wanted.
Nice. Well, fashion was also a new thing. Women weren't really allowed to show anything else. It was always like, whoa, your ankles are so scandalous, and here you are saying that you're a flapper. How did your style change?
It went from covering myself up a lot to wearing skimpy costumes and wearing a lot of makeup. So we do those sort of things. There was lots of pictures that were taken, and with all the lights and stuff, we'd wear heavy makeup. So we'd wear fancy headdresses. All our hair was pretty in there.
So Charlie, it seems like you had an interesting couple of teenage years.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I mean, I'm kind of stuck looking like this now with all that.
You're making the white hair work. You still have pretty good color left.
Thanks. So yeah, I enjoyed telling my story. I don't get to tell many people my story anymore.
Oh, well, thanks for talking to me.
Of course.
Just, you can see the dress.
Look at my dress. So scandalous.
Scandalous?
Scandalous. Miss Jackson. It's not past my fingertips. Sue me.
Ew. This is supposed to be a serious part.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I do that, but I flash people things.
That's why pants are better. The greatest bloopers ever made.
Right? Okay.